welcome to my channel. If you are new, this is a follow-up on where to start with art. The link will be in the description below. Now this is number 2 in a 3-part series. Subscribe so you can have convenient access to all my videos in one nice space. Please like and love this channel as it shows your support and helps my channel grow. Aww, thank you. Now, like hundreds and millions of you out there, I have seen how easily 1 hour can turn into where did this week go. Just ring that notification bell so you can get a friendly reminder whenever there is new content on my channel. Guys, this is not a tutorial or a how-to video. I'm basically going to be giving you tips, advice, and tools for when you do start those beginner tutorials that you have got a little bit of an advantage point. You are going to thank me for this later. With that being said, there are going to be topics that I just touch on. If you do want me to elaborate on them, or you want me to try something new, or discuss something that you are unsure about, or you want me to show you a few things, please give it in the comment below and I will be more than happy to oblige by making you a little video. Let's get straight to it. Today's topic is all about composition. Now, it doesn't nearly get enough attention that it deserves. This is why it is one of my top 3 where to start with art topics. Now, what is composition? It is the placement of different shapes and elements in a specific space, which will determine how the viewer views and perceives as well as relates to your picture. Basically, what you can do to demand attention to your picture. Told you it was important, right? Now I am going to be throwing around composition terms which you might have heard in your art circles, photography friends, basically anything to do with visual stimulation, including this video. Number 1, the golden ratio. Now that is that spiral shape that you see everywhere in nature, as well as it repeats in itself. Now it's a little bit complicated, so leave a comment down below if you want to know more about that one. Then we're going to move to the golden triangle. Now I touch a little bit on this when I talk about diagonals, but if you want to know more about that one, you guessed it, comment down below. Then all over the place, I am going to be talking about elements of design, but most of all, you are going to be using rule of thirds in your art the most. I am also going to be throwing a little bit of tips with those principles of design. So tip number 1, guys, light source. We are all going to be using different media when we make our content, like from a photo or even actual objects. Make sure or pay attention to your light source. You can't have your rose with a light source coming from the left, or your apple with a light source coming from your right, and then there's a pencil holder where your light is coming straight from the front. People are going to find something wrong with your picture and they're not going to know quite what it is, but there's going to be something that they do not like. We don't want that, so check that your light source is all from the same side, all right? Principle of design number 1, perspective. Now we all know that a house is bigger than a man, is bigger than a dog, is bigger than a cat, is bigger than a mouse. What is further away from you is going to be smaller, and what is closer to you is going to be bigger. It is, however, a little bit different when it comes to outside versus inside. Aha, I bet you didn't know this one. Okay, true, inside as well as outside. Further away is smaller, closer to you is bigger. But inside a space like a building, the further away from you it is, the darker it becomes. Where outside, the further away from you, the lighter it becomes. Actually, more correctly, the more tinted the color. Now we'll be discussing that when I do the color wheel. Spoiler alert, year 3. So how you use these objects, the viewer is either going to perceive it as close, far, tiny, or giant. Obviously, if you're going to put a little house in your hand, they're going to see it as minute. Oh, cute. Versus if you put a massive person in the background, they're going to perceive that person as giant. It is just how our brain relates the images that we see through our eye holes. So further away, smaller. Closer to you, bigger. Inside, it is darker the further away it goes. Outside, like landscapes, it is lighter the further away it goes. Rule of thirds. Now, like the golden ratio or the golden triangle, it is scientific equations and studies about how the brain perceives what the eye sees, as well as how the eye is most likely to move around in a specific space. So let me show you, let me explain. Before we do this, let me throw in a little bit of a tip. You want to create a bit of a border or a frame before making your third lines, your rule of third lines. This also comes down to one of the elements of design is placement. You do not want to rest anything directly on the edges of your page. It takes away the emphasis of what you are doing. So when you create a frame or a bit of a border, you will not touch the sides directly, and it also gives you a little bit of room to play should you go over. You want to divide your page into thirds, diagonally and horizontally. And don't forget your frame. These are your third lines. You want to place things on your third lines for optimal viewing, and this will be focal points. To explain this nicely, I am basically going to be using some photos for all intents and purposes and show you on them what I mean. Right. Subscribe to my channel, as well as leave me a comment below if you would like me to do some new content for you. Ring that notification bell so you can get a reminder when there's new content on my channel. And love and like, show your support and help my channel grow. Now, true that we do like things that are dead center. My face is pretty dead center. But it does not work for everything. That means you would like to rather just shift it a little bit off center, like I am standing in this video. In this video, I am on a third line. See? On a line of third. Same goes with landscape. You don't necessarily want your horizon to be dead in the middle. Another little principle of design, you don't want to split your page. The eye automatically wants to separate it. You would rather want to have it either a little bit above or below the center, which will fall on a third line. Catching the drift? As well, where those third lines cross are optimal viewing points. Odd numbers. The brain seems to like odd numbers more. So 3 is better than 2, 5 is better than 4. So you can basically have one main object and place 2 supporting objects, which brings me to another principle of design: balance. Now you don't want to outweigh the picture on one side, like for instance, my art is all on the one side and I'm a little bit more to this side. I am balancing. Not everything is just on one side. So if your main focus is on the one side, put 2 supporting elements, remember the number 3, 2 supporting elements on the other side to balance it out. You can also balance it out by using your positive and negative space. Rewind. Positive space is everything in front. Negative space is everything behind you. It doesn't mean the one is actually positive and the one is actually negative. It is just what it is called. Another perfect example of all the elements that I have been talking about would be this video. If you look carefully, I am on a line of third, off center, plus my face is in a focal point. What I have, however, done is I have placed my picture in a certain way to show you how it splits the page or splits your viewpoint, because it's kind of in the middle. So it makes it feel like that is a separate side to this. You see what I mean? On that topic, you can draw your eye to move all over the show in your picture, which is another element of design called movement. Now, your art piece can either have actual movements with parts moving in it, or you having to move around to view it at a specific angle for the picture to make sense. We have all seen those. Love them. Now, movement can be created with lines or shapes. A small example, here we have a line running from my trolley pointing towards me. So it makes your eye come towards me because we've got lines pointing towards me, making a little bit of a triangle. You will mostly see this in architectural designs or pictures of landscapes or cityscapes where there is a person walking with a little umbrella down the road, and the line of the street or the lines of the building or the top of the trees kind of guide your eye towards that person. Now, you can draw attention to a specific focal point by using contrasting colors, like a zoomed in basket of tomatoes. All the tomatoes are green except for one that is red. So contrasting colors, we will touch on colors when I do the color wheel, but that is another way to draw attention to a focal point. Another one would be the unusual. So you can have a bunch of people, and at a focal point there's going to be one person with, let's say, the head of an elephant or a rhino. It looks odd out, so you are naturally drawn to it. So to draw attention to focal points, you can use lines to draw the eye towards it, or you can use contrasting color or unusual shapes to draw the attention to something very specific. So basically what it comes down to is you want to plan your art pieces. Think about the placement. Think about the focus point. What is it that you want to demand attention from? Now that you're armed and ready, go forth and search more about composition, or just grab your sketch pad, practice, do quite a few rounds of pictures where you want to place your stuff. Plan it out, man, before you commit to any official drawing or picture. Now remember to like and love for your support. Oh, thank you. And subscribe so you can have access to all my videos in one convenient space. Don't forget the notification bell. 1 hour to a week. You know this. We all know this. Just do it anyway. And I will see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.